Hello and welcome to a 24-hour reading challenge video. Listen, I never thought I was going to do this, but then I saw some videos and I saw that they look really fun, and it is the end of the month and I do have a number of books that I'd really like to finish before the month ends, and they're all like kind of like either in the starting or halfway through, and I just need that extra push. So I'm doing the timer method that I've seen before, and I also will be counting audiobooks. For one of these books, I do have an audiobook, and yeah, let's just get into the books that I'm going to be picking up. If I pick something up along the way because I somehow finish all 3 of these books within the 24 hours, I don't know. I guess I'm just that good. I don't know, but you'll see that later. So let's start off with the main event of this reading challenge video. So I'm finally going to be trying to finish Iron Flame. So I started it last week, but then I got into like quite a difficult rotation. So I only made it like 50 pages in to the book. And so I feel like I got a good gauge of what's happening, like what are we going with and what's the gist of it. This is going to be a spoiler-free reading vlog of this book. I don't really like to put spoilers in these videos, but I will be talking and referencing things that happened in the first book vaguely. But in case you don't know, this book is one of those books that's all over the internet because it was very popularized by TikTok, and it is the second book in the Fourth Wing series. I have heard really mixed reviews about this one. This book starts right where the second book ends, and it's kind of like a mess. Basically, we got a really big reveal of a character that we previously thought was in one state and now is actually not in that state, and also she finds out that people that she thought were bad were good and the good people are bad. So it's a big mess, honestly. As well as there's a bunch of things happening with her own personal life, with her own relationship. By her, I mean Violet Sorrengail. She's the main character of this book. If you aren't familiar, Violet is basically this woman that because of where she lives, like in terms of just like the society in which she lives, she has to find like some sort of profession that she can like contribute to society. I guess like there's no one that's just like unemployed. And originally she was going to be a scholar like her father, but because she's a Sorrengail and because her mother is like, no, you are going to be a dragon rider like me and like your siblings, including the one that passed away on the field. And this was like shortly before everything happened, and also her father passed away. So she kind of starts off first book like in a low state, and now she's trying to train and kind of come above in this like dragon rider society and academy where people die all the time. And yeah, so I started it, and so far I like it. Actually, for spoilers, I'll just put in the bottom screen like book covers so you can go ahead and just mute me when I'm speaking about the book spoilers. So far I like it, and I am hoping that the plot develops a lot. I love her relationship with Xaden, which is like the main love interest that you see in all the fan art and everything. He is a vibe. But I also really can't wait to see how all of their shenanigans that happen at the end of the first book kind of manifest itself in this book. So anyways, that's a lot of talking about this book. Let's get into the other 2 books that I have. So the other second book that I have is one that I started last week because I was trying to get into this, but then I just like wasn't feeling it because I was so tired. So I wanted something that felt like a warm hug, and this book happened to be it. This is Love at First Glance by Griffin Murphy. This is an indie published book, and I actually started it on Kindle because it is on Kindle Unlimited, and I also had purchased the book at one point in the past, and I just hadn't gotten to it, but now it's on Kindle Unlimited. And let me tell you, this book, if you are a fan of Howl's Moving Castle, if you're a fan of cozy fantasy, which I really didn't realize I was a fan of until this book, until I realized like, wait, I really liked Howl's Moving Castle, so I guess I'm a fan of cozy fantasy. This book is so good. I am 132 pages in, and basically the main plot of this book is that we have Bridget, and she is a princess of the Spring Kingdom, and in their world, each year the kingdoms host a tournament to win the hand of one of the daughters of the princesses of this book. I don't know if it has to be a princess, but basically like it seems like it is a princess. And it's only for 6 months, and then later on they can continue the relationship or not, but basically there's this big tournament. Her tournament was last year, and she basically won her own hand in marriage. Very reminiscent of the scene from Brave, the Pixar movie or Disney movie. And so this year her kingdom has to host the tournament again, and they're auctioning her sister's hand in marriage, and she's not supposed to meddle again, and because this it gave a lot of bad faith to her own kingdom, and people were really upset by it because basically she spoiled the fun of the game and like stole the prize of the game. So she ends up dressing up as a bandit to join the games and try to see who would be the best match for her sister and protect her sister that way. And then so our main love interest, or like our main like sort of antagonist love interest, because they very much antagonize each other, especially like even at this moment they antagonize each other but in the best way possible, is the Prince of the Night Kingdom. And he very much is, the Night Kingdom in this universe has like a very, like most Night Kingdoms I guess, has a very like bad reputation and just like evil and, you know, all those sort of things of reputation. Think Taylor Swift's reputation tour. But he's actually not. He's a big sweetheart and he's like actually obsessed with her. So that's my rice. Anyways, he's actually obsessed with her and it's good. And their banter is so cute. And there's a lot of mythical creatures like toads, like orcs, like elves, like fairies, like pixies. It's just so good. And you see like the magic of the world, but it's a very clean romance. So if you're into something that's a bit more smutty, it might not be for you. But for me, and like how cute it is, like chef's kiss. And then the last book that I have, and then this one I'm only missing 100 pages in, is Perfume by Patrick Susskind. This is a sort of classic horror suspense novel that was recommended to me from a friend from work, which I started it in February, but then when life kind of fell apart and I was just really busy with work, I put it down. And then I've been slowly catching up with all the books that I've had that I started during that time and then I hadn't finished it. And this is the last book of those books that I have. And then this book is about a person, a man. It's kind of written as if it's a biography. A man who was born in Paris in the 18th century, and he had the gift of smell, but he also was like kind of not human, and he didn't have his own smell, and so he's obsessed with smells and scents, and he just wants to collect all of them no matter the means. That means no matter the means. And this book, honestly, if you're someone that likes horror but like more body horror, I think you would really like this book. I think if you also like The Vegetarian by Han Kang, you would like this book. It's very much that same sort of speculative fiction horror genre, and I don't usually read books like that, but I do like them. I just don't tend to pick them up that much, mostly because it takes me a while to get through them, because I prefer to be, you know, wrapped up in a world which I wish I lived in, and I would never want to live this man's life. So anyways, not Patrick Suss. I don't know how he lived, but you know, the main character. But yeah, so we're gonna start the timer in a bit. I'm gonna get my rice out of the cooker or whatever. I don't know, I think I can leave it in there for a bit. I'm gonna get my little blankie, maybe make some popcorn and my coffee, and we can get this started. Oh my god, and like the new characters that they introduced that are going in this year competing, I'm in shock. There is a main character which I'm very interested to see what it leads to and like what happens with him, because he is a major player and he could change the game. I'm gonna keep reading. Do not get on Tarn's bad side. That is for sure. Tarn will make mincemeat out of you. He will swallow you whole and let you rot inside of it. I said what I said. Sorry for the noise. I hope that's not too loud. Why is it so loud? I'm washing clothes, but I'm about to have a pickle, continue reading, and if you notice, I changed my outfit. I'm actually going to Solid Core. If you don't know, it's like a Pilates class. I really like it. And also, I don't think I showed my nails. I think that they are really cool. Can you see it? This is the first time I ever got like designs on my nails. I think they're really cool. Can you see that? There we go. Okay, time to pickle. Maybe that was like a controversial take. Okay, it's paused because I went ahead and got changed for my Pilates class, and I'm sorry for the back noise. I just got back from my Pilates class and I listened to like the most intense scene ever. This is the scene where Violet gets punished for something by General Fish, and I literally want that guy to die the most gruesome death. Like I want Taryn to like do good on his promises to kill him. Like, oh my god, what a horrible man. This is horrible lighting too, but we have to deal with it because it's already nighttime and I'm gonna eat dinner. But while I finish dinner, I'm gonna continue listening. Right now, how much time do I have left? Okay, I paused it, but I have 22 hours, 25 minutes, and 25 seconds. That was like very close to like being like almost all the same. So yeah, let's continue. Chapter 13. I'm like, while I was in the class, all I could think about was this book, because I ended it like while I was walking there, I was listening to it and it stopped at like a really steamy scene that I wanted to continue, but I couldn't because the class like started literally. Oh my god. I have to God, I'm literally like crying. If you've ever read The Poppy War, this second book reminds me a lot of that second book from that series. And by the way, I have not finished that series, but the first book was like one of my favorite books. And like, it's so heartbreaking to see what Violet is going through and like the emotional loss that she feels and like just all the pain and grief and how isolated she feels from everyone around her. It's impressive. Oh my god, I'm like even like out of breath here. So I have 21 hours 20 minutes and 37 seconds. So I haven't really been reading for that long. Like honestly, I thought I'd be reading for longer, especially because like I'm already on chapter 19. Well, I guess I have a lot left, so we'll see. Oh my god. 9 hours and 48 minutes left if I keep listening to it on 2x speed. But yeah, I'm like crying. So yeah, I'm gonna continue listening. I do have the book next to me. I might start reading it soon. I just was cleaning and folding and doing all these other things that I wanted to use the audiobook. The reveal we got of like, I knew it. I knew this new character was gonna be important for a lot of reasons and I knew it. Okay, I continue reading. I'm on chapter 22. It is taking a while and like, if you can see, it's taking a while. So let's just keep on going. Keep on chugging. Listen, those people that do 24-hour readathons are stronger than me. I have been reading for 4 hours and 33 minutes and I am exhausted. It is 12 and like I've only read around 240 pages. This book, really, the font is so small. If you can see, the font is so small for how big the book is. And I don't know, I feel like I'm never gonna be able to do 24-hour reading challenge and also have a life. But yeah, so this is my last check-in. So I've made it to hour, like for our first day, I did start late. I started like at 4 p.m. So 4 or 5 p.m. But I have read and I had to take breaks to do other things, like go to the gym and stuff like that. But I have 19 hours, 27 minutes and 49 seconds left. So I don't know, I would have liked to get, maybe I read, I'm gonna take a melatonin gummy and then maybe read. Like I don't see myself finishing this challenge tomorrow because this would be like a lot. Like, and I wanted to keep it within 48 hours, but I don't know. I also have like an eye appointment because I'm gonna get new glasses. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna put my melatonin gummy and go to bed. But yeah, the people that do these sorts of things are made of thick stuff. Definitely. And I'm really liking the book. I'm not at the point yet where people say that they don't like it, and I'm interested now to see where that part comes up, and if I end up liking the book entirely, what is the part that people don't like, because I can be easily convinced to not like. I'm reading very much for enjoyment, so I don't read maybe with the most critical mind, especially books for fun, and especially a book like this. Like, you have to know what you're reading. Also, I feel like because I had so much time between this book and Iron Flame, I mean this book and Fourth Wing, maybe there's some things that like maybe this one isn't on par with Fourth Wing as much as the other one. I don't know, we'll see. To read and to sleep. Hello. So I'm fresh after waking up, so my face is puffy, everything. I'm not gonna give excuses for that. I made breakfast, big breakfast. I've been in like a sort of a health journey. What's worked for me is having very big breakfasts, smaller meals, but I guess maybe I'll mention about like my health journey in a different video, but that's not the point here. The point is, I got to chapter 37 in this book. Let me tell you, this book is like taking forever to read. Like, but yeah, I got to chapter 37. This is part 2. So according to like Audible, because I don't have, it's like halfway through the book basically. And I really do wonder, like, I haven't seen yet like what people are like, oh, I didn't like this book. It must have been the ending. Like, but the first part of this book, if you've read Throne of Glass, like Kingdom of Ash, or if you've read The Poppy War, it reminded me a lot of those books, which are kind of focused on like the aftermath of like loss and like grief and the survivor's guilt that the main characters have, and also just like torture. Definitely this book is very graphic in terms of the torture scenes, and I am definitely everything but the bagel seasoning, but I'm definitely feeling some type of way. I definitely feel engaged in the book. I feel like Violet has matured throughout the book, and I think she's coming into the warrior and the woman that she needs to become in order to face everything. I think that she shows incredible resilience of spirit for not breaking under the torture. I'm super interested to see how after that she like goes, but they have certain characters that I was very happy to see dead, definitely, and I'm happy to see some of the characters that I thought were good were actually good. So, or like, you know, some redemption of some of the characters that had really let me down in the first book. So yeah, I'm gonna eat breakfast, I'm gonna start my timer, I'm gonna listen to the audiobook for now. I have an appointment to get my glasses done, my eye exam in a bit, so let's get this show on the road. So I got my glasses. They'll be coming in a couple weeks. And yeah, basically they told me I have eye fatigue, so I should stop wearing my contacts, or, you know, stop looking at computers. That's not gonna happen. But yeah, I got two from Bath and Body Works. Listen, I told myself I wouldn't buy any more candles, but I had to. So I got the Bridgerton Diamond of the Season scent. It's like a very sweet scent. I think it's a nice summer scent. Definitely something that I would light up with caution, because just it's very strong, and I personally would prefer for it to be a lighter scent and not as strong, but I feel like they had it in the store and it wasn't too overpowering. So this is the Diamond of the Season, and it smells like sparkling peach, sparkling bitch. That reminds me of like What We Do in the Shadows. Spring Daffodil, Radiant Jasmine, and yeah. And then the next one that I have is Mahogany Teakwood Intense. If you are a German girl, you know this is a intense version of the classic fragrance with rich mahogany, black teakwood, dark oak, and frosted lavender. It just smells so good. It smells like, honestly, like a men's cologne. Like it's really nice. And since I'm getting back into writing, I wanted to have both of them. But anyways, how many minutes? I have like 18 hours left, so I have to start reading. I don't know. Today I think it will be the last day of this 24-hour reading challenge, because if not, then like I'm not gonna get anything done, and I do have to get things done. But I do feel like I've made such good progress on my book, and personally I'm really enjoying it. I'm really like curious to see like what is it that people aren't liking about this book. But I feel like it does follow the first book, and like it is a continuation of all the things that were happening in the first book, and I don't feel like there's different characterization or anything. I'm like honestly just curious, and I don't want to look it up yet because I don't want spoilers. But anyways, I have my headphones. I think I'll listen to the audiobook for a bit while I fold the huge pile of scrubs that I have to, you know, put away, and we'll get the show on the road.
My underwear, then tugs them down my legs and crash again and again. There's no thunder, no strike, only the...
This 24-hour reading challenge is gonna take a long time. It's like gonna take 3 days. But I am not 15 hours in, 15 hours left, which means I read for 9 hours straight. And I'm like, still not finished with this book. I think this book was entirely too long. I'm definitely getting there, like, if you can see. But honestly, okay, my thoughts. I feel like I don't really have any thoughts, and that's weird. There's like a lot of like things happening, but nothing's happening. Like I don't know exactly where the plot is headed, because like we're still in school, basically. We're still in school. She still hasn't like passed her second year, and she still doesn't control her magic or whatever it is, her sigma. So we're kind of like, you know, in the same place that we started part 2. But yeah, I feel like this is the part of the book where usually, for me at least, with these really long books, where they lose me is like in the beginning, and then near the end you have more plot and everything. But here it just feels like a bit slow. So I don't know, I just want to finish it, but I don't know how I'm gonna do 24 hours. Like I have 15 more hours of reading left, and it's 3 p.m. Like what am I doing? Also, once I finish this book, like do I pick up my other books that I have? Which would be, maybe I should switch. I don't know. But yeah, let's just continue this book for a while. I have to like take a pause at least of an hour to get some, you know, work done, because even though I'm free today, like I still have some things to do. But yeah, I'm just like, how isn't this done yet, you know? Okay, let's continue. Wait, like actually though, I will say that like a lot of this book is like her and Xaden like figuring their relationship out, which like I don't know, I feel like it was very soon to have her and Xaden get together, like from the first book, because there's 5 books in this series. So like, where are we going with this? But yeah, we'll continue. And my eyes hurt, and I can't put on contacts because I went to the optometrist today and they said do not put in contacts for a bit because your eyes are tired. So I'm trying to listen to more of the audiobook if I can help it. Hello?
Hey, is this Nikki?
Yeah. No, I can speak on the phone. I think the thing is that
Zorngale, you paying attention? Ray calls me out. My head swivels back to the front of formation. Where's arching an eyebrow at me?
I look very exhausted and not myself, but I don't know. I don't think a 24-hour readathon is good for your health. At least it's not good for my health. I feel like I'm getting sick. Either way, I am on page 545 and I think I've gotten I wanted to give my thoughts before we get to the last 100 or so pages. That's kind of what I'm missing, like 90 or 80 pages. I understand why people don't like this book, but that doesn't mean that I don't like this book. I think that this book is honestly pretty solid. What a good way to use my words. But I feel like, and I'm gonna look up later what it is that people don't like about this book, but the entire book, you're kind of seeing the two characters stay at the same spot emotionally until now. Like they're kind of finally getting to like the crux of what is their problem and like why they're not working out, and like this dishonesty factor that seems to affect Violet as much as Xaden, even though, and I guess I don't know if it's like, you know, the fact that I'm turning 27 and I have age on my side, but when you're in a position like that, sometimes like you do things to keep people safe, you know, especially yourself. In Xaden's case, with some of the secrets that he's kept, I think it's a bit presumptuous that Violet feels like she's owed those secrets when they're his secrets and they don't really, like, they affect her, but it's also like, to what extent, you know? I don't know, that's a very vague way to talk about what's going on. And I also like realize that like there's less action, I feel like, in this one, and it's kind of a repeat of what happened last year in terms of the training, and that was like a big part of it. And then also it's much slower, I feel like, than the first one, and it's very long, like very long. I cannot believe it's taken me, what time am I on at this point? Like it's taken me it's gonna take me at least like 10 hours to finish this book. That's a lot of time. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to ending it, finishing it. Am I gonna read the third one? Yeah, but I'm not there yet. I'm not at the end yet to say like, oh yeah, definitely really excited. But so far, famous last words, this is like a 4-star read for me. 5-star read, definitely. I think I liked Fourth Wing a bit more, but I think it's a pretty solid book. So I'm really interested later, once I finish this, to like read the reviews that exist on this. So I'm gonna keep reading. I finished. I don't know how I feel about the ending. I just, listen, like, I think to end things like over and over again, like, I have thoughts. Okay, like the first book ended on a cliffhanger, and I think that you can do that occasionally. I think that that's something that, you know, it's in a device to employ, like, to your discretion if you're writing the book. But to have 2 books end on really insane cliffhangers, it's just like, it's such bad faith. It like honestly gives me a turn off. Like there was no need to end it on this cliff. I don't like it makes me like, why do I don't want to read the next one. Like once again, we're just gonna get the same discourse happening of like, why. Yeah, this is one of those books where the ending really ruined it for me. But let me tell you where I'm at in terms of time wise, because I've been reading, but I do think that I'm not gonna do this. Like I think like I end my night not doing this, and this 24-hour read was a failure because I feel like I'm gonna get sick if I continue reading at this pace. Like my eyes hurt. I have things to do that are not just reading, and no, I'm not having fun at this point, especially because I didn't like how that book ended. Yeah, I think this is where this ends. Okay, I'll be back once I've rested, let my eyes rest, and disconnected for a bit. But yeah, I'm gonna now look up what other people have said about the ending. Hello. So, you know, I finished. This is tilted, I don't like that. So I finished I Am Fine yesterday. As you saw, my very unhinged reaction, and I have thoughts. So I feel like now that the dust has settled and I've kind of processed of it, it was a very shocking ending. It's not my favorite type of ending, if I'm being honest. I think that cliffhangers have their place in books, but they can, like, I guess they're meant to be frustrating and meant for wanting you to get to the next book. But when the series is coming out, it feels so cruel to do that. And I feel like after finishing this book, I understand why people didn't like this book. So without any spoilers, I feel like it's very frustrating that like the main conflict, at least like the main internal conflict between the two characters, was resolved in like the last second, to now have this new internal conflict that's going against the same issue of like keeping secrets and all that sort of thing, because that was like, honestly, I don't think that's a spoiler to say that the main conflict between like Violet and Satan is that she feels like she needs to know everything that he is thinking when he's thinking. I think that's right or not, that's not the point. That's what the main conflict is. And it's like this new barrier of like, will they, won't they, which I feel like can be very frustrating. I feel like a lot of the conflict, like yes, you did have like pretty big battle scenes, but it wasn't like it was the main thing going on at all times. So with that, I ended up giving it a 4 stars. I thought, honestly, I understand why people didn't like it. I personally enjoyed it. I think that it was a good exploration of character and like internal conflict, and I think that that is going to be something that people don't like if they wanted more action per se. But anyways, I did continue reading because even though I was like, oh my god, you know, Violet wouldn't give up. Even if it took her longer, she would adapt. So I was inspired. I ended up picking Love at First Glance, which I ended up reading like a really good chunk of it. Where did I start? Yesterday. Oh, okay. Like I started at like page like 130 and I made it to page 206. So I'm missing around this much to finish this book. But I still like, where's my calendar? I still like have like 12 hours left of this read, and I need to like actually do things with my life, like go to Target, and I've been procrastinating it because the elevators in my building are down and I'm gonna have to do like a House of Wind, like sort of going down the stairs, going down like 40 flights of stairs if I decide to go down the stairs. So I'm procrastinating, but you know, I think I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go to Target. That's what one of the stops I have to make. I don't have too many places to go once I leave here. Target, the post office. Oh, the post office. Let me go get something. Okay, I got what I needed to put in my bag before I went downstairs. Thank God I was talking to myself. Anyways, this book is so cute. Honestly, it makes me feel like I'm in such a good mood when I pick it up and I don't even realize time is passing. I'm so happy that I got a physical version. I really love the cover. But as I said, right now she's in the middle of the games, and I feel like this isn't a spoiler. The prince has figured out her scheming, but not in the way that she really expected him to. And I'll leave it at that because I think like it's cute, and like you spend the entire book wondering when it's gonna happen, because obviously it's gonna happen. But yeah, like you can tell like how he's absolutely obsessed with her in both of her identities. It is just so cozy. I don't know. It reminds me so much of like Howl when Howl's Moving Castle, where he's like, hey there, I've been looking for you, sort of like romance it. I'm just like, oh my god. But anyways, I'm gonna finish up and head out, and then hopefully finish this when I get back, and I'll take you with me to Target. But yeah, maybe I get a book. I don't know. Maybe I don't. Maybe I should control myself. But anyways, I'll let you go. What the fuck is this? It's so... How do I get to my car? I'm on my adventure. See, there's a theme to this week's purchases. Book looks really good, but I think I'm gonna pick up True Beauty Volume 1 because I've been meaning to catch up with the series. Time for me to go before I buy more books. Listen, this was so good. I finished it. Let me pause my readathon. I guess, like, do people pause it when they're talking about the books? This book is for you if you are a fan of Ella Enchanted, of Howl's Moving Castle. Like, honestly, like, this book just gave me such Ella Enchanted vibes, like the movie and the book. Like, it was written in that sort of way. And it was just so good. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. 5-star. One of my favorite books so far this year. I'm like, this is too good, and I really recommend it. That is by an indie author, Griffin Murphy. Know you're going into this and there is some romance and some like more, you know, like romantic scenes, but nothing like spicy or steamy in that sense. Like, this is very much like a romantic book filled with tomfoolery and just magic, and I don't know, it was like a warm hug. That's honestly what it feels like. Let me turn off. I was just watching someone doing like a co-working session while I read this book. But anyways, I'm officially within 2 minutes I'm done like with at least over half of this. So the next book that I'm gonna read is gonna be Perfume, which I'm really excited to get into. This book, I mentioned that it's kind of like a body horror. I would recommend it to people that like Bunny by Mona. Like it's not like feminist in that way, but I would recommend it to people that like The Vegetarian by Hong Kong, Uzumaki, that sort of genre of fiction where it's like kind of like, is it real, is it not real, like horror. I like it. I'm on page 165 and there are around like 265 pages in total. Let me check. 255. Let me go get the book that I got from Target. And so I ended up picking up a print copy of True Beauty. Yes, I first read this when it was on Webtoons. I cannot take off the sticker with my nails. It'll just have to live there for a bit until I can get some help. Let's see. Wait, I might be able to do it. Like a laminated cover, so it should come out pretty smoothly. Excellent. It came out perfectly. So I really liked this when it came out. I never watched the K-drama that they made out of it, but I don't know. I wanted to catch up on it. I also have like a hard copy of Lore Olympus, which I really like. I don't read Webtoons that much, not because I don't like them, because like I get way too obsessed with them. The last one that I read was one, and I'll put it on the screen. It's like one about a nanny that she ends up like, she's like this nanny that is trained save and protect really like high profile people. So like she's also like taught to like manage a gun and all that sort of crazy stuff. So it was really good. I'll put it on screen. I think it's one of the official Webtoon ones and I have to catch up with it. But yeah, I wanted to finally catch up with True Beauty and I think that the covers are very pretty. They only had the first and the third one there. I didn't pick up the third one yet because I wanted to see how I felt reading this. But honestly, like I love it. I love a transformation like book sort of thing. So anyways, that might be the next thing I pick up, but we're keeping our options open since, you know, I do have a whole other 12 hours left at this readathon. And let me tell you, this is not for the faint of heart. I'm feeling much better because I definitely like did things that I need to get done because I think I was also getting stressed out because there's things that I have to get done in my life. People that do this like in literally 24 hours or like literally like timed like within 2 days, like good for you. Couldn't be me, but I'm happy that I continued. So anyways, I am gonna sit down to do some other stuff right now that I need to get done and I'll speak to you once I continue. So the readathon continues and we've taken a surprising detour into Hermione fanfiction. The fanfic that I ended up picking up because one of my favorite Hermione tropes is forced marriage. I really need to get into dark romance, like for sure. But the one that I'm reading, the name is on the screen. I don't want to say it because I don't want to get like, you know, flagged, but it's Bloody Slutty Pathetic by What Murda. And there's a praise kink in Draco Malfoy, a lot of wanking. There's a Pansy Neville pairing. This is like, it's good. I'm only on chapter 4 and there's 17 chapters out. It comes out every Saturday or Sunday and there's gonna be 21 chapters total. So yeah, Violent Hermione Granger. We can live with that. I'm gonna keep reading. But I've made it, I'll pause it, hours and 42 minutes left. Supposedly, if I were to continue this straight, I would finish it at 4 in the morning. But I do think I'll probably finish it tomorrow. Or we can just finish it whenever so we can, you know, see what happens. I had to do some other work today. It's already 6 p.m. I'm gonna go ahead and make some dinner, continue reading, and that's it. Hello. So I'm about to go out to dinner, but I did want to close out this vlog because I realized I didn't finish up. I was left with like 6 hours left on the clock and I was not finishing it, but I did finish What a Murder, their Bloody Slutty Pathetic fic. It was really, really good. I read another fic, but I don't particularly care for it, so I'm not going to recommend it. And I actually ended up reading a whole other book that's going to be the next book series. A little hinty hint, it's going to be a complete series vlog for a series that is very, very popular in book talk, and the main male character initials is AW. If you actually are on my TikTok, you're gonna see that I've posted a lot. Make sure you go follow me if you don't follow me there because I pretty much post stream of consciousness there about my books and my reading. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really like have to hand it to people that do these sorts of reading challenges often because I see some people that do them like once a month and I honestly felt like I was gonna be sick. Could never be me. Definitely not an enjoyable experience, but I did enjoy the fact that I read so much. Like even now you can hear like my voice is a bit scratchy compared to the beginning of the video. So either way, thank you and I'll see you in the next one. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And if you have done 24-hour readathons, let me know what you've done in the past that really helps you, you know, stay on target. Unlike me, I guess. I don't know. I really fumbled the bag on this one. So anyways, bye.